Hello and welcome to Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, Episode 12. My name is Meg and I will be your host. You're joining me here in a very sunny Rockville on Wednesday, November 2nd. And it's a gorgeous cold day here, very nice. It's about 1 or so in the afternoon now, and yeah, just been having a very nice morning, doing some wash, doing some vacuuming because the puppy is shedding like crazy. I am drinking hot coffee with French vanilla creamer, and it is Swiss chocolate coffee from my local Giant when I was at home, but I bet all Giants would cover it. So hello to all new viewers of the podcast. We are slowly creeping up to our 1,000 mark, which is really exciting. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you. I love hanging out with you every week and spending my time with you. Okay, I just wanted to get cozy. Okay, so today in mail, it isn't our typical mailbox. I have some beautiful gifts to show off from a designer who you might have heard from on the Hey Sister podcast, because Tabby has test knit something for Miss Tammy Gore. And so Tammy got in touch with me on Instagram and reached out, said that she would love to offer me patterns to knit. So I got 2 shawl patterns, which I'm so excited about since I've recently become shawl obsessed. So I have 2 shawl patterns, and she was super nice. So there's one for me, and there'll be a download for you when I hold my first cow, or possibly even the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Now my first cow is going to be coming up in either January or February, and it's a theme, but I don't want to give it away yet. It'll make a lot more sense why I'm being so secretive later. But it was something I came up with, and I reached out to another podcaster, and I was like, hey, I have a thought, and I feel like you would like this thought. And they did, and so we're working some things out, and that's all I'm really going to say right now, but I'm very excited, and I can't wait to get all the details done so that I can be like, hey, start buying yarn or picking yarn for this cow because it's so cool. Anyway. So, back to Tammy Gore. I'm going to put my coffee down. This takes 2 hands to show you. There's this little pink envelope back here that is going to be unveiling other things. And like the good teacher I am, I printed it out and then stapled it together so that it was all neat and nice and lovely. So there are 2 patterns. One's called Out of Winter, which is one that I'm actually, is it the worsted? This is the fingering weight one. Out of Winter. So pretty. Look at it. And of course, it's obviously more gorgeous in color, but I only have access to a black and white printer now, so. And then this one I think I'm going to start first. This one is called Sweet Birch, designed by Tamara Gore. And you can find these on Ravelry. And I am so excited. This is the first one. This is the one I'm going to make first because it's worsted weight, and I have some worsted weight yarn, which I'll bring up in Dream Knits, that I have some thoughts and ideas with. And I have US 8s and I have US 9s, and it's 2 contrasting colors in a worsted weight. So it's looking like I'm going to need over 600, and I need to actually do the math. I might not have enough with what I've got in my head right now. So that's all TBD. But these patterns look gorgeous. I cannot wait to work on them. I'm so excited. You can clearly see how nice her designs are because Tabby just did a test knit for her, and she just showed the shawl on the last podcast, and it's stunning. And Tabby actually dyed that yarn herself, so kind of helps. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait. I cannot even wait. I'm so excited to get started on it. So thank you. I'm so excited. And I really have, I love them both, but I have a fingering weight shawl on the needles too right now, and I'm like, I need something chunkier, and the worsted weight is going to be just the thing, and I'm so excited. So these will be kind of looped back in at the end, and you'll see them in a sec. As far as what I'm wearing, it's Target. It's a beautiful Target top, but it is Target. And can I just say, like, I would die if I could just actually complete something this beautifully intricate. I love the colors. And I understand everything in this pattern. I understand it all. I don't have it in me at the moment to complete such a garment in what looks like sock weight, if not slightly thinner. It's not lace. It's definitely more sock, but it's gorgeous, and I'm just obsessed. But no, it's not mine. I wish one day it will be, because I have been having massive sweater dreams. I've got sweater fever, got bit by the bug. I totally blame the girls at Stitches and More podcast. I blame you ladies. You're the reason, because they just started a sweater along. And I'm like, I can't. I actually have to look their rules again, because maybe, just maybe, that'll make me finish Pat's cardigan. Because I don't think mine would count. It just has a sleeve left. So that's almost, what, 90% done? No. Pat's is just started. I just finished under the arms, you know? Like, that much. So that would probably count if they take whips, which I can't remember if they do. I have to read that again. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they take whips, you know? And it's definitely, it's a long sleeve cardigan, so it counts as a sweater. That was what they were going on during one of the podcasts I was watching. I think I watched their last like 4 or 5 in a row, and I'm getting confused when I heard what. But yeah, I just, it's definitely counting as a sweater. Definitely, absolutely counts as a sweater. So yeah. I was gonna use this one last week, but then I just couldn't resist using my gift mug from Les. So this is from Aruba, and it just looks like sand and surf with our little turtle. Pat loves turtles. So our little Aruba. We're not sure when this happened or if it already looked like that, and Pat didn't notice it because he was so excited about the turtle. We're not sure. So I think I might take a little watercolor to it and just maybe try and even it out a bit. Or even a tea bag. Maybe I can just rub a tea bag on there for a little and see if that would work. It just got a little necked, but alright, anyway, this is not the moment for me to examine the cup. Jeez, Meg, focus. Huh. So how was everyone's weeks? Good? Alright, so that was my Rav mail. I've been getting lots of friend requests that I always love to respond to, and yeah. There'll be any show notes this week. There's not that much to really show note. How about this? I'll put a thread up called "Wait, what was that again?" And then you can ask a question if it was like, wait, what was that yarn? Where did you get that? What was that bag? You know, if I haven't listed it in previous episodes, and like this is the 5th time I'm showing you my Pearl and Plum Studio TARDIS bag, because you've seen this one since episode 1. So like, you might have seen it by now. But if you're brand new and you haven't got a chance to go back yet and you're confused over something, I'll throw it out there. So, wait, what was that again? Will be the thread. And you should think it just like that, okay? When you read it, you're going to hear my voice in your head, and you're going to think it just like that, okay? All right. So, I wrote up all my notes here, right? Wrote up all my notes. And in there, I'm writing, you know, when, where, time, what am I drinking, just giving myself, like, plans so that I can figure out what I'm going to say next, because I will get very distracted if I don't. And when I'm drinking and all that. So, the first thing I write down usually is, Mr. Postman, did anything come in? No, not really. I had Ravmail, which was a little different. So, you know, I'm picturing Katie's hooting owls in here. So yes, that's the Ravmail came in, and that was so exciting. And then, so I wrote up FOs, and I was like, no FOs. I have one that is like this close, but it's not. And like Sue says, nope, doesn't count. I laughed out loud when she said that to Chelsea earlier. Nope, doesn't count. Great. Chelsea laughed too. I don't think she expected it. So I was gonna go right into whips, but as I woke up today and I was thinking of my friend Amy, and my friend Amy has an adorable baby, which you saw at the end of the last podcast. Amy has a 4-month-old, and he is precious, so cute, and I haven't officially met him yet, which I'm quite disappointed in myself, but I do live several states away now, and I did just get married, and I was just on a honeymoon, so there hasn't been a ton of time to meet the baby, who is not going to be a baby by the time I meet him. I feel like, geez, he's growing like so fast, but adorably, so adorably. So yeah, I made him a pumpkin hat, and Amy had rolled the brim up like at least 2 inches, and then there was still a little bit at the top that wasn't fitting him, so I'm like, I am overestimating how big this baby's head is, like, and because I haven't seen him in person, I haven't held him, I really don't have a great gauge of how big this baby is, because, you know, you can make something for a 4 to 5 month old, but like 4 to 5 months, like I've met kids that look like they're 1 when they're like 2 months old, and then you've got the little ones who like don't grow hair until they're 3. You know, you just get this huge range with babies. So I haven't met Declan officially yet, and I'm like, I'm not really sure what I'm dealing with. So that was a lot of rambling to be like this. I went into my stash, and I'm like, I just want a really quiet morning. I'm craving some quick knitting. I want to make him a sweater. And so I start writing out notes, and I decide I'm going to put 20 stitches on the front, 20 stitches on the back, and 10 on either shoulder, and I'm going to make a raglan like that. And then I was thinking of making it 3/4 sleeves so that he would have his arms mostly free to still like do stuff, and he wouldn't be like drooling all over the cuffs or anything. So I was thinking all about that, right? I'm like, think, and I'm going through this. And I'm like, well, you know what? Hats are a little faster. Maybe I'll just cast one on. So I made a hat this morning. And I didn't have any FOs when I wrote my notes at 9, 8 in the morning, but it's 1. And now I do. And I was gonna make it one of those really long tail ones, and I just was getting super messed up with my needles, and they weren't doing what I needed them to. I'm trying to think of how I made I made those little stocking caps before, and I'm trying to remember. I didn't follow a pattern, I don't think. Did I do them on double pointed? I'll have to look. Maybe there's some pictures of me, because at that point I didn't know what Ravelry was. So anyway, I did this at the back, and I was getting some really bad jogging in the beginning. Oops. I got kind of weird here. I like the cuff though. The cuff looks cute, and it's got nice stretch. I'm sorry, there's like mascara in my eye. I have to throw this mascara out. It's it flakes and then it gets in my eye, and then I spend the entire day just like picking stuff out of my eyes. Boys would just look at us and be like, what the, why? Because our eyelashes are pretty, that's why. Anyway, so I had some weird jogging going on, and then for some reason it just stopped. Like, you can barely see it there, but like it's much less noticeable than this little cluster. But it's a learning curve. I haven't done stripes in a while, and I just wanted to do some. It's a little Christmas hat, yes. So this is weird, but I'm gonna just tell. It's the back, right? Can I just tell her it's the back? Maybe I'll put a little tag there that says, you know, knit for you by, and put a tag in the back so that she knows. Just tell her the weird wonky part's the back. Can you put that in the back? So there it is. So there's baby. And I feel like I made this the same size that I made his pumpkin hat, which is too big. I looked back on the photo again. She sent me it. She put him in it on the morning of the wedding, and I was like, But his head has gotten bigger in a month because babies' heads do that. So maybe by middle of November, December, when she gets this, it'll be better. It's actually very warm inside this hat. My hand is like heating up already. This is great. Oh, that's wonderful. It'll keep him nice and warm for winter. Oh, but it's so cute. And it's just like, it was just a quick little knit. I kind of want to put a pom-pom, but I'm going to ask her first if she's a fan of pom-poms or not. Because some people are and some people aren't. And I'm perfectly fine doing either. So, yeah. I was trying to make a little nubbier point, but it just wasn't working. But anyway. So there he is. That's a lot of, I love holding the hats. If you haven't, you know. I've done this with the last couple of hats. So I was like, okay, how big do I think Declan's head is actually? Well, maybe if I took about 4 or so stitches off, maybe his head's about that big, you know, for real. So this is one, and it's got a lot of stretch, so this could possibly be a next year hat too. You see it? Look at that. I could probably fit my head in it. Again, I'm totally overestimating how big this baby's head is. Anyway, so I cast on for something else. So that was my only FO. I'll move into whips. And this one is going to be, I was going to do red and green again, but I already did red and green, so I might do red and white this time. Ta-da! Cute little snitch. This is like a Harry's Christmas hat type of thing. So this I've dropped 10 stitches. That's 60. This is 50. And definitely smaller. Now it looks like a sock, and I'm like, oh god, it's not gonna fit him. I want to get at least 1 inch into the regular. Actually, I want to make the brim a little higher too. This is a good brim, but I want to make the brim even higher. And oh, I just had a vision of it swirling. How would I do that? What do you like? Knit 4 red, knit 4 white, knit 4 red, knit 4 white, and then you knit 1 red, 4, 1, 4, so that they move over every time. Is that how you do that? I'm making this too complicated. I really should just be able to do an easy stripy knit hat, and yet in my head I'm like, how do I do that? Why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself? No, I just want an easy knit. I just want an easy knit because I was able to watch 2 podcasts this morning and knit away and have a really nice time. So anyway, hat. Cutie patootie hat. And there's not much to see yet, but I'll let you know. And so I'm sending both at the same time. Hopefully this one will fit him this year. This one will fit him this year and next year. And I'm just going to keep knitting for a baby because they're so easy and they're instant gratification. They make me happy. I just find like the 50 stitches work a lot better on these chiagus I put these on it and I didn't like it on this. Didn't like it. I really like, and it's so stupid. They're the basic Susan base one with the weird plastic cord and everything. There goes the wash. Oh well. So like typically these I no longer choose any time. I never choose these, except for hats. This particular pair I just have a thing for. Then I tried to do the decreases because I don't have double pointed needles easily in access. I tried to use my Knitter's Pride Dreams in 8, and can we see this cluster of a cord? My Chiagus never do this cord. This is horrible. It was clearly rolled. Like the last time I used it, I clearly rolled it like this, and it's set. So now I've got to reheat it and uncurl it. Womp womp. Sucks. Boo. It's not the end of the world. It's just super annoying when your needles fight you. Like, nobody wants that. I'm telling you, if you didn't know you didn't want it, you don't want that. Can I get it? Is it bugging anybody else? Alright, well if it is, I can't get it off yet because I have gigantic fingernails that I still have to get taken off. Yeah, these gotta go. Drinking coffee. My next whip is Bee's Moon Night socks. The last time I saw you, believe I was down around this area, and then the next time I picked it up, yeah, I remember the green, and then I knit green, so I was here, and in the one session I went from the green up and then this cuff, and I want to knit the cuff longer because I used one ball of the Regia for this. Only one. And they match. I'm so happy they match. So yeah. When I knit this into the blanket, I'm gonna have to take it from the other ball because I'm pretty sure I undercut it. I think I only put in like 12 yards when I really needed like 16 or something to be sure. But yeah, so I only put in one ball. So my measurements, this is typically how I measure. This part is as long as this is. So you can see, as far as my measurements, I'm about 5 rows short as to what I would have done, but I'm not worrying about it. Like, that is barely anything. If it were all the way up here, I'd crack out the next ball and knit another inch. But it's really gone well. And then I'm gonna knit the cuff at least as long as this chunk is gonna be like that chunk. So it's gonna be a 2-inch cuff. And I'm very, very pleased. And I did work on these yesterday. I did want to have them as a FO for you and for me and for you. But I just lost steam last night. I just didn't. We went to a little party you might have seen on Instagram. It was at the WCC. And they just had little Halloween things for the puppies, and they were playing games and trying to find the food in the cup. So they put a food down, and then they would cover it 3 cups, and then the dog had to go in a circle and then come back and pick the cup that the food's under, because their memory is like in between. Like sometimes they can do it, and sometimes if they're not old enough they can't yet, or they forget, or they get distracted and they see something else, or they think you still have the food. It's really cute. So they did really good. And can I just say I love that I ran out when I was in white and orange, and that blend is just fantastic. I love that. You know, it's not on purpose, but good. Like, I love it. It's just these socks were very much destined. Remember, they came to me in a dream and they told me they were Brian's. They were originally for Pat. No, in a dream, this yarn came to me and it goes, I'm for Brian. And then I made a purchase from Knit Picks and I got a bunch of singles for heels, toes, and cuffs and different things. And the pumpkin came in. Because all the oranges I had weren't the right orange. I was going to use white and then I was like, let's get dirty. It was exactly the color of the orange. It was just meant to be. It was absolutely meant to be. Yep. Oh, I really hope he likes them. My next whip I cast on last Wednesday after I got off the phone with you, and I did cast on my dad's socks. So these are my dad's Christmas socks, and this is a Lang ball, and I did a reinforced toe, so there's the extra little thread right there. And this is very tough. You can feel that like thickness. Then it kind of gets into the single, and I don't know. Yep, you can. Okay, so can you see me behind there? Because I can see you through this, and that worries me. That worries me. And this is a 1. This is a 1. It's already lower than the size that's called for on the ball. What's going on, Lang? So, I mean, it's a strong yarn, but I might go down 1 more needle size, call it a 0. Or I might buy more reinforcement thread and just start knitting the whole sock with reinforcement thread, which just doesn't sound comfortable. Ugh. Yuck. The toes are good. The toes are reinforced and everything. I don't know, I'm worrying more about this than any other thing because my dad is intense with his wear of socks. And maybe a hot bath to like kind of fuse those fibers a little more. A hot bath with a little bit of agitation, like just my fingers kind of rubbing it around. Maybe a hot bath before they go for Christmas. Anybody have any suggestions? Wanna help me out here? I'm worried. I'm worried that it's like not gonna keep his foot warm, or it's too see-through. Like, I can't. Can you? Oh, you can. Look at that. Yeah, you can see through these. That's not good. I might just go down to a 0. Maybe even with the new way I'm holding the yarn, the tension is not enough to get a solid sock. Like my mom's patterns, solid sock. Like you cannot see through them, which by the way is my other whip, but I left it at work. That's a story for a little later. I'll warn you, so you can fast forward if you really don't want to hear me chatting. So yeah, no, I love them. I love the color, but I am panicky about the see-through of the yarn. So Mom's work socks. They're the Patton's autumn ones that I showed 1 or 2 podcasts ago. And so on Thursday last week, I left for work. And I got tagged in what I'm doing now at work. And I confessed to all of you that I had forgot my knitting at home. And I realized this about 10 minutes from the apartment, okay? 10 minutes from the apartment. And I just started to have like a knitting panic attack, I guess you would say. Like my entire chest just feels like I can't breathe. Like it's just tightness and it's like squeezing and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And see, on Thursdays I have preps, so I can get work done, but then I can also get some extra knitting time in as I'm doing grading. I didn't have anything with me, and I was just like, I was like a mess the whole ride there because I was like, I can't believe I forgot it. Like, I can't believe I forgot it. I can't believe I forgot. And I had drama club with the kids after school. So much time to just stand there and knit while staring at these kids, you know, because basically I'm just there as a hot body. Becky with the good hair is my friend Becky, is doing most of the moderating and yelling at them. I'm just there for, you know, additional support and yelling when needed, because they're middle school, so they talk over you all the time. So I had a knitting panic attack, and I text Patrick, who has actual asthma attacks, and it's just like, sweetie, you're fine. And I'm like, no, I'm ruined. I was not having a good time of it. And then I had a WCC class that night. I went to the wrong location. I was late. Luckily, she still took me, and I got everything I needed to done and all that. And then the next day I had to come back, and I got lost again, and I was late. I'm like, these people are gonna hate me. But I got everything I needed to done, thank God. But yeah, so story of knitting. My mom's socks now live at work because I am never going through that pain again. Never. I think there'll be a pair of socks in the car, and there'll be a pair of socks at work, and there'll be some knitting at home, though I don't think I would ever leave for Philly without packing knitting. But yeah, so yeah, that's my story and why my mom's socks are not here. So anyway, moving on. I think it's time for some dreams.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue.
So, this gorgeous pile I now have on my lap is all of the things that I really, really, really want to work on next. So let's start with my thoughts here. I get the pattern from Tammy. I freak out. Yay, worsted weight. I've been desperate to find a good shawl for worsted weight. I saw this shawl that Tabby knit. I love the designs that this girl thinks of, so I'm like, okay, I'm clearly gonna like this shawl. So I immediately think of my hand-dyed Madeline Tosh, which I'm afraid might bleed, so I'm gonna, when I cut one of these tails, I'm gonna put it in some water, let it sit, take it out, put it on a white paper towel, and dab it and see if there's any leaching. And if there is, then I'll know. So immediately I thought of this Madeline Tosh, and this color is Venetian. Yeah, Venetian is the Tosh DK superwash merino wool, and it says machine wash in cold water. It doesn't mention bleeding, but there might be. So it's coming. It's pretty true to color. So this is pretty darn gorgeous. That's too light, but just so you can see. All right, so that's pretty true to color. So this is what I think of first, and I'm like, what's this gonna go with? Well, I wanted to make a sweater. I have a sweater's quantity of this, so I figured I would cast on the neck, do Fair Isle in the red, and then go back to the gray for the sleeves and everything. Well, now I'm like, ooh, wouldn't they just make a gorgeous shawl, you know? So I think of these. Then, as I'm digging that one out to show you, I come across a second gray. And now I'm like, is that gray better? Dark gray? Light gray? Dark gray? Light gray? Both. Do I need both? I have to do the math. I still have to do the math. This is 225. This is 218. So 2, 4, 6. I'm gonna need, yeah. So I only have one of these. I have 5 of these because I was gonna do. I'm still doing a something, but I'm gonna make Patrick's double knit Star Wars scarf soon. Okay, so this is it. Thanks, guys. You just made my decision with me. I'm gonna do gray. I'm gonna do red, and that's gonna be in the Sweet Birch. There it is. So there it is. this is my decision. And I'm super excited. It looks like it has some gorgeous texture in it. And yeah, contrasting at 245. How much do you have again? 225. So almost, I could do almost all of it in the red. I might have to take off a row, which doesn't look, I might have to bind off like 2 rows early. How do you know when you're gonna have enough to bind off? How do you know? I mean, I can always go back to this for like 1 more row and then bind off in gray if I had to. I like stripey things. That could work. Alright, sorry, that's a whole lot of thought process you didn't need. Anyway, this is part of the dream knitting. This is going to be the shawl. This is going to get caked up. Woo! But then I found something else when I was, I'll call it cleaning, but really it was pulling this stuff out. This little guy in the Rachel. Yay, Rachel. In the colorway. And it's just so pretty and so gorgeous. And I'm like, wait a minute. Does this want to be my shawl? And like, right? And then I have this, and I'm like, tan and brown are so pretty together. So this might be another different shawl. Yeah. So I don't know, I'm in love with the idea of this being a shawl now. This is on my mind. This is what I'm dreaming about with it. So I really love the idea of it being a shawl. Yeah. Ruined. Sorry, you like can't really see it over here, but you can see it on my yellow. So it's very pretty, very gorgeous. That's the va. And then I'm like debating putting it with this or making it colder and putting it with that. And then I thought, like, for a second I was like, yeah, and I was like, no, because I don't want it to be Christmas all the time. I want it to be something I can wear with Christmas things if I want to. And then I was like thinking like a dark brown would look really nice. What are you? What are you called? Sandbank. That's it. I got these on sale when they were having a 40% off, which I ran my little butt over to Woolwinders to get that sale. That was awesome. So thinking about that now, and instead of doing the red and silver, would I rather, you know, do that? Right? I know. Struggle is so real. But yeah, so this is all dreams and thinking and figuring out. But the sandbank actually, so the other day I'm sitting in bed, laying on the bed, I think, and I'm admiring my yarn fortress, you know, as you do, and these 3 were in a row, and I was like, those look really good together. So then I'm dreaming of cardigans, I'm dreaming of pullovers, and I was like, oh, it's definitely going to be a pullover, because I have 2 corals, I have 2 sandbanks, and I have 1 purl 10. And I'm like, I think it's going to be a pullover. It's going to be a pullover. It's going to be a pullover. Well, then I was looking at Mina's podcast again, and she's got that that sweater. I'll put it down, the down bar, because I can't remember the name of it. And it's like perfect. Might be like something drift sweater. So it's like perfect for this striping and this color and like these. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like this was made for it. And I've got, you know, this will be like something I use less, I guess, like across the armbands and maybe 1 stripe under the arms for the back, and the rest of it would be striped in between these 2 because I have more of it. But how stunning is that combination? Like, like I just love them together. And I would go like pink top, black top, pink type of thing. Like, I don't mind them together, but I really like this transition, and then I would transition it back the same way. But that's another cardigan, and I still have 1 sleeve that's not done on a teal cardigan that's almost done. Why is life so hard? I know. Yeah, So, also part of Dream Knits. So there's been, there's been a lot of thinking and dreaming going on. Just this morning, you know, everything just happened right off the bat with that. And then, yeah, so that's all my, my dream thoughts. When I was on Instagram, I saw Jillian Michaels post this picture, and I just fell in love with this sweater, so now I need it. And I really, actually, I love how everything's even, like even stripes, but I was thinking of making my scrappy pullover this way. Set-in sleeves intimidate me because you can't knit this part in the round. You have to like knit and then like pick up and go over and then go down and do it again, which I sort of did with that what do you call it, koi top, that koi pon top. But yeah, like I just really want this. I feel like something like this would look so cute. And then it has like a matching neckband and arms and bottom, so you could, you know, pull it together that way so that it looks like good. But I'm just in love with this now. So it's a knitting inspiration. Just the cover. Rip the cover off. Like the rest of her shoot wasn't in that sweater, so it doesn't help me. Maybe there's more pictures. I should Google. But yeah, so this sweater just called out to me, and I've been waiting for this magazine to come out, particularly because I've been trying to find like this cover. Like I wanted it. I just wanted it. So yeah, and I did read through the magazine too. It was also very good. So yeah. So just for some pod love for my beautiful, beautiful viewers who are also podcasters, I have recently watched the first episode of Hooks and Books, or Hooks Books, which is Sarah. Hi! And she very sweetly reached out to me because she's like, you've been knitting 2 at a time socks. Like, tell me how to do this, because she recently started sock knitting and is feeling a little bit of that second sock syndrome coming on, and it's a deadly bug, Sarah. It's a deadly bug. I'm telling you, like, avoid it at all costs, or you'll end up with a sleeve just hanging out for a full year. It never gets done. I feel like it never gets done. So maybe you're stronger than I am, but I am not I can't do it. I can't do 1 sock at a time. I can't. I mean, I'm capable, but I just mentally cannot. So she reached out to me and she was like, what patterns do you like? What needles do you use? This and that. I have some yarn, and her yarn sounded gorgeous, which it was once I saw it. And I believe it was Lolo Did It was one of her yarn colors, and it looked very pretty. So excitingly, she has successfully cast on and knit like this much on 2 at a time socks, and they look awesome. I recommended Very Pink Knits, who does an excellent tutorial, very clear and concise on her website. I at first did knit the worsted weight socks, and then I came down and down and down and down and down to finally I've hit sock yarn 6 years in. Right before I met Patrick, I was starting to knit some socks, and that was exciting because Pat did get some socks for me in August that year for his birthday. They were early, and they were all in like super chunky yarn, so it was like house slippers, not socks. And it's just kind of hard, you know. So it took me a while to get down to sock yarn, and I'm thrilled that she's taken the plunge. I also have one of my knitting students who has been thinking about casting on socks for a while, and I think maybe Mina's 2 at a time socks, her pattern would be helpful to a viewer as well. Again, I'm just a visual person, so I think she actually has How I Knit My Socks video. It's very helpful just to watch, you know, and that's how I get through things. That's how I teach myself everything. But yeah, love and socks, and I highly recommend the fish lip kiss. Though I haven't tried any of Mina's heels yet, and I've heard, I mean from her, but I've heard that they're very good and they go pretty quickly. I think they're a German short row based heel. So I don't see wraps or gaps from like the outside looking in, so I don't know. I haven't actually gotten any of her patterns for socks yet. It's on my to-do list, but soon. And I just want to give a little shout out to Kay. Hi Kay, who has been super sweet and like liking all of my Instagram things recently, and I'm just always like, hi. So I just want to say hi. And she just uploaded her podcast today. Mine hopefully will be up by the end of the night. So yay, Wednesday podcast buddies. You, me, Mina. Who else? I feel like I just saw one more. No, it might have been yours that just came up. I was like, oh, there's somebody else. But yeah, so I think that about wraps up everything. I haven't done too much damage. I bought 2 needles in size 0 because I didn't own any, and they will be for socks because Jilly, hi Jilly, I'm chasing that finer gauge that you spoke of several episodes back, many episodes back. I'm chasing it. I find now that I'm no longer satisfied with just producing a sock. I need the sock to fit. I need the sock to look good. Yeah. And it's just like, machine socks just fit a certain way on your foot, and it's just so nice, but sock yarn. So much beautiful sock yarn. Yeah. So, yeah. It's been wonderful hanging out with you this week. Yeah, it's not my 1 cup at a time mug, but I just want to remind you all to have a beautiful week. Enjoy the lovely fall weather. Just take it 1 cup at a time. Anything that comes up, just deep breath. Do a few rows. Get it out of your, all that stress down, like Sue and Chelsea. Sue does, just, that's the knitting. That's the knitting part, right? So, thank you for coming to hang out with me. It's been a pleasure. I will put that thread up, and if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. All right, bye.